is Deadliest. It's a duel to the death to decide who is the deadliest warrior.
Alright, today's Deadliest Warrior episode is the Spartan from ancient Greece and Nemesis from the Catacomb fantasy trilogy. But before I begin, I would like to give a little backstory about these two warriors. You've probably heard about the Spartan training, how they were taken from their parents at the age of 7 and forced to fight in combat. Or at least they trained until they were 18, then they fought in combat. Their most glorious moment was at the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC, where they took on a Persian army that had 500,000 soldiers. The Spartans held them off for 2 days before finally giving in on the third day. And now, for those of you who don't know who Nemesis is, I don't blame you. The Catacomb fantasy trilogy isn't a very good, well, it's not a very well-known series in video games. And I don't know his storyline, so I'm just going to make up my own. No one knows where Nemesis was born, where he fought, or where he trained. But there's one thing for sure. Nemesis was born in hell. Anyone who sees his appearance knows that they're in for a rough time. Nemesis gains his power by feeding off the demonic possessions of his fallen hellish comrades, and uses that against his opponent. No one has defeated Nemesis. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the weapons that the Spartans used against the weapons that Nemesis used. So, well, first I'm going to talk about the armor and stuff, so the main armor for the Spartans was a bronze muscle cuirass, or, if you're more sophisticated, lamellar armor, or linen cuirass. The Spartans were known for their shield, the hoplon. The Spartans were known for the hoplon because it was their trademark shield. I'm not exactly sure what Greek letter that is, but that's what they pretty much had on all their shields. It's mainly a wooden shield with a thin sheet of bronze. And then comes one of the most important parts of their armor. Corinthian helmet. Now, this thing was designed to protect you. So you got two flaps to protect your cheek. Here, a nose piece, and there's this part here carved to narrow your vision, but people say that when your helmet narrows your vision, you can't see as far, and that's true, but it offers more protection. And yes, this is a prop from 300, but it's all I've got, so. And Nemesis has no armor because no one has ever come close to killing him before, so. Alright, now I'm going to talk about the weapons. Alright. Now, what I have here are two of the weapons that Nemesis carries, and they are his only two. Get the camera oriented properly. The reason why Nemesis has never had to encounter melee warfare is because of this. His magic staff. It can be used to stab as a 4-pronged spear. It can also be used for magic It's his deadliest weapon. Then, his mighty sword. Now, he's never really used this sword before. He doesn't have to because the staff pretty much kills anyone who tries to make contact with him. But in case someone does, he's got the sword ready. The sword is made of celestial steel, which is some of the hardest material on Earth. Or outside of Earth, even, because I don't think hell is exactly Earth. But, yeah. Simple wooden handle. It's a very razor-sharp blade. This thing could it could pretty much slice your abdomen in half. Now I'm going to talk about the weapons for the Spartans. Now I don't count the shield as a weapon like on the real show Deadliest Warrior, because I consider that more armor. Well, Spartan's first weapon, the spear, or the dory as they like to call it. And the spear is just intended for one purpose and one purpose only, to stab. Well, you could also throw this, but there's another weapon the Spartans have that they use to throw. The Spartans' long-range throwing weapon, the javelin. And this was just mainly to go into a loop at the back of your armor. You could pull it out for long-range attacks because the Spartans didn't carry a bow and arrow on them, and you could throw it. It was an iron tip, so it could penetrate most armor. And then the third and final weapon, the Xiphos, the Greek double-edged iron straight sword. This thing will mess you up. It's got many different purposes: to cut, hack, stab, slice, and you can even throw it. But it's best you don't throw it, because this was the Spartans' last weapon. They could use the shield as a weapon, but it just wasn't effective enough. Alright, now that I've gotten all the info in, let's go see who our Deadliest Warrior is. After 1,000 battles, the Spartan beat Nemesis, mainly because of the shield. If Nemesis had a shield, he probably would have at least tied or could have won. But the Spartan won mainly because of the shield. Out of 1,000 battles, the Xiphos for the Spartan had the most kills, with 500, pretty much half the kills. And with Nemesis, after 1,000 battles, his deadliest weapon was the sword, surprisingly. And that registered 750 kills. Well, that concludes my Deadliest Warrior episode, the first episode in my Deadliest Warrior spoof series. So, please comment, rate my videos, subscribe, and we'll have more videos later. So yeah. Again, I apologize, this was a one-man show, so I pretty much had to do the entire thing myself, so that's why you see me twice in the battle, so. Well, yeah, it was a long day's work. Gotta go get some coffee.